The Khalistan plot is thickening. We've heard allegations, we've seen indictments, now there's a secret memo. 2 words you should always take with a pinch of salt. Secret memo. This one has been published by a US news outlet called The Intercept. And who wrote it? Well, according to them, the Indian government. I'll explain the details first. This secret memo was allegedly issued in April 2023. It was signed by Vinay Quatra, that's India's foreign secretary. It was sent to Indian diplomatic missions across North America. And what was the message? The Intercept says the crackdown on Khalistani elements. That's what the message was. Let me quote from what they've said. The pro-Khalistan organizations have become obviously more extreme. Their strategy has gradually shifted from narrative building to street protests. Concrete measures shall be adopted to hold the suspects accountable. The memo goes on. It says, India ordered a sophisticated crackdown scheme. It does not mention assassination or bodily harm, but it does say crackdown. Just one problem though. It has been rubbished by the government of India. The External Affairs Ministry has released a statement. Let me quote again. Such reports are fake and completely fabricated. There is no such memo. This is part of a sustained disinformation campaign against India. The outlet in question is known for propagating fake narratives peddled by Pakistani intelligence. The posts of the authors confirm this linkage. That's a strong statement, unusually strong for the Indian Ministry of External Affairs. They've not just questioned the report, they've also questioned the publication and its authors. India says the Intercept propagates Pakistani narratives. So what do we make of this latest saga? Well, the timing is important. Earlier today, the FBI chief landed in India. His name is Christopher Wray. He's already met the chief of India's Central Bureau of Investigation, the CBI. He's also got meetings lined up tomorrow. Now, there's a lot on his agenda, like cyber crimes, intelligence sharing, and narcotics. But one issue will likely top all of it. That's the issue of Khalistan. Last month, the US accused an Indian national of an assassination plot. They also said an Indian government official was involved. The target was apparently this man, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. He's a Khalistani terrorist with 2 hobbies. On weekdays, he organizes referendums for a Sikh state. On weekends, he threatens to blow up the Indian parliament. And who is shielding him? The government of the United States of America. In that context, this so-called memo is important. It will make the FBI chief's visit a bit more complicated. But beyond that, what are the implications? Well, it seems like New Delhi has drawn red lines. Just look at the reactions to Canada, the Intercept, and the US. Canada gave no evidence, so New Delhi lashed out. The US took the judicial route with an indictment. So New Delhi began its own investigation. And the Intercept? They published an unconfirmed memo that does not even mention assassination, then tied the whole thing to Hardeep Singh Nijjar and Pannu. So once again, New Delhi lashed out. What does that tell you? That cooperation is fine, wild allegations are not. But frankly, this is just the start. More publications will likely follow the Intercept. It's been a trend in American policy. Washington begins, the US media carries it forward. So New Delhi should be ready for that. And it's not just the American media. Politicians too are taking a tougher stand, like Democratic Senator Ben Cardin. He chairs one of the most powerful congressional committees, the one on foreign affairs. And Cardin included India in his recent hearings. And guess what the hearings were about? What this hearing was about? Targeting of dissidents abroad. Now, usually China and Saudi Arabia are discussed in such hearings, or Russia and North Korea, but this time the committee also discussed India and listened to their comments.
We've seen disturbing allegations against an Indian government official for involvement in planning to assassinate a U.S. citizen in New York who was critical of the Indian government. This follows allegations of India's involvement in the killing of a Canadian Sikh leader earlier this year. The Modi government had labeled both critics as terrorists.
We often say we're the oldest democracy in the world and India is the largest democracy in the world. This is not the behavior of a respectable democracy.
Now, just to clarify, these Khalistanis are not critics. It's not like they were criticizing India's net zero climate target. They want to break India up. They are bona fide separatists involved in violent crimes and attacks against India. Some of them have been designated terrorists. Clearly, some US politicians do not understand that. Neither does the US media. So India should brace for such so-called leaks and memos. Think of it as an unofficial pressure campaign.